Okay, so a little while ago I found out about these puzzles called YJ YEET Balls. And basically I thought it would be cool to make them into force cubes, so I'm going to do that now. Just as a quick unboxing, we can see the packaging here. It's held together with a bit of tape. Inside we get some instructions that teach you how to solve it, presumably. I believe these are just the same as an Ivy cube, so if you know how to solve one of those, you already know how to solve these. And inside we have the puzzle itself, and I guess a little plastic piece that's sort of to hold it into the box. Okay, so they turn just like this, fairly simple. Alright, so I'm going to unbox the rest of these, and then I'll get started with creating the force cubes. Okay, so there we are, they're all out of their box now. If you're not aware of what a force cube is, essentially what we do is we can take off the tiles of the puzzle, so basically these here, maybe the pieces as well, depending on which puzzle it is, if it has specifically coloured internals for each piece. And then we just put all of the colours that match on the same cube, so we'll end up with a fully orange cube, a fully green cube, a fully white cube, and so on. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I will start disassembling these. It looks to me like the internals are all sort of random colors, so it looks like this one's got orange on the inside as well. So I think I'm just going to do the tiles for this. All right. Okay, so that wasn't expected. It looks like there's a little circle piece inside of each of the corners. So I guess I'll have to decide based on how many of each color of these I get, whether I maybe put all of the green ones in the green cube or if I just put random colors everywhere. Okay, so I'm almost finished taking apart the first one. So as you can see, most of the internals on this are orange. So it looks like I'm probably not going to end up with enough different colors to use specific colored internals for each ball, which is a bit of a shame. It seems like the sort of technique to get the pieces off at this point, just in case you're doing it on your own, is you can just sort of pull the edges off by sort of getting your fingernails underneath, and you can just sort of lever it off like that. It sort of seems to attach using this little rectangle on the bottom, so you just sort of need to make sure you're pulling that straight up so you don't snap anything. For the corners, so these sort of triangle-y pieces, they're a little bit more difficult to get off. You sort of need to make sure that you sort of get your fingernails underneath the three sides and then sort of pull straight out. And maybe give it a little bit of a rocking motion while you're doing it. Cool. And those attach using this little circle in the middle here into this pin just here. Anyway, that's the first one done. Moving on. Okay, so that's all of them taken apart. Looks like some of the centers got a little bit out of frame there. Sorry, the edges. Now it's time for me to start putting them together. It looks like I have gotten a fairly uneven distribution of core colors, so I have 4 orange and 2 green, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I'm going to make sure that I get the orange cores with orange pieces and the green cores with green pieces for 1 puzzle each, and then the rest I'm just going to do randomly, I think. Also, sort of the same case with these little circular pieces. I've got, I think, a lot of yellow and a lot of blue, but not really that much of, for example, I only have 1 orange piece. So I'll do the best I can with that, but yeah, it seems like only the yellow cube and maybe the blue cube might have enough. Actually, blue I don't think has enough, maybe only the yellow cube. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to start assembling each of these. Okay, so I've just about got all of the edge pieces in. Basically, the trick with these is to make sure that you get the pins lined up well. So what I've been doing is I've been lining up the center pin and then using that to sort of find the correct place for the edge outer pins. Okay, so I've done all of the edges now. Now I'm going to start constructing the corners, and I'm going to do it off the puzzles and then put them on, I think, just so that I can try to match up as many of these little round pieces with their corresponding cornery pieces as possible. Okay, so I'm going to quickly mention that there's a bit of a sort of trick to getting these together. Basically, there's 3 sorts of levels to the inside of the piece. There's sort of a rounded section here, and then these 2 sort of tongues that come out. And you just need to make sure that the round piece goes into the rounded section, like so, while matching up the 2 tongues. So I feel like this is really hard to show on camera, but basically you just need to mesh that together. Right, moving on. Okay, so that's all of the cornery centery pieces done. I was able to make them all the same color, so with the centerpiece and the 3 outer pieces, except for 1 of the greens, which I decided to match up with a blue, and 3 of the oranges, which I decided to match up with yellow. Now I just have to put them on the cubes, again using that term very loosely. And to get these in, what I'm doing is I'm matching up the circly piece with the peg in the middle, and then using that to match up these little posts on the inside of the corner slash center with these sort of grooves here, and it'll give a little bit of a snap. So putting it in giving it a bit of a wiggle to make sure it's aligned, and then snapping it in. Okay, so I might bring this up now because it's happened a few times. If you're not careful, the center can sort of, or corner can kind of split apart while you're trying to put it in. So to fix that, you basically have to take it off and try again. Okay, there we go. So that's all of them done. I'll admit that at first I was a little bit disappointed that not all of them would have the matching internal color to the external tiles, but I think it's actually grown on me quite a bit. In particular, I really like the white with the orange internals, the yellow with the orange internals, and the red with the green internals. So I'm not sure how well that's coming up on camera, but you can sort of see just inside there, I think. Now they're all done, my plan with them is to hopefully do some sticker mods on them. So at the moment, they can't be scrambled, they're just always sold, so I guess they could be used as fidget toys, but I want to put some stickers on them at some point. So if you want to see that, subscribe, and I'll put that video out later. In general, subscribe if you want to see more. Goodbye.